Hey everybody, just feeling a little um, down today. Obviously, I'm 8 days into trying to figure out what's going on with my shoulder. I mean, it feels drastically better, but I'm having sort of issues just being okay with not being able to provide. I think that as a man, it's hard to we put so much emphasis on being a provider, and that's kind of how we are so ingrained in being. And I think that when you can't do that, you miss your sort of validation. So I'm just trying to deal with that, and you know, I think sometimes we all think that we're irreplaceable in our jobs, and I think deep down in our heart we know we're not. So to feel that, um, I think sometimes there's always the battle of the man. It's like, am I being a pussy? Like, should I go back to work? Like, do I risk re-injuring it? Like, am I being am I being a Sally boy? I mean, it feels way better. So, like I could be working. Um, I don't know. I just think that, people, this is why I don't love social media because everybody, right? It's kind of like, look how good it is. Look how good I'm doing. Look at this cool stuff, but no one ever puts this shit. Like when I don't, like I'm embarrassed to be honest. Like how I am right now. I don't want to feel like a bag of crap, right? Like I don't want to, but I do today. And there's so many days and that you just don't know how to feel. You don't know how to, like I don't feel great, but I don't feel bad, and I try to be grateful and I try to kind of snap out of it, but there's sometimes you just can't, and you just can't snap out of it, and that's kind of what I'm going through today. I'm trying to, even to journal is tough for me to do today. Uh, but yeah, I'm just not okay, and you know, we go to Grace Church, and they say sometimes it's okay to not be okay, and today I'm not okay. I feel not enough, and I know that other people feel like that very frequently as well, and just shitty. But I think that we just have to kind of put our heads down and know that there's always a tomorrow, and um, sometimes I think through this whole journey of myself, which I'm still going on, and I think I think that's what the frustrating part is, it'll never stop. But getting to a point where it's like, okay, like, what's my purpose, right? Like, why? I don't want to have an obligation. I want to be excited about something. I want to do something that fills me up. Life can't be just, okay, let's go do our responsibilities and come home and blah, blah, blah. Where's the juice? Where's the excitement? How do I get to that? So, obviously, I think that it just takes time, and sometimes I get frustrated that it takes the time. Um, like I'm trying to not enjoy, but use this time off as that time. But I find it just closing things that I need to close, and handling my responsibilities that I have let go for a little bit. I'm definitely a procrastinator. I definitely put things off. I definitely can put things and feelings in blinders and put them in the back of my head, and kind of not let them deter me. And they always come back, right? They always, whether that's a little white lie or whether that's, oh, I did that and I didn't feel good about it. Like, we can put it to the back of our heads, and you know, I think that through this 75 hard, you really get to see, your allowances, right? It's kind of like, those little sort of chinks in your armor where it's okay, like I had 6 chocolate chips, but I didn't put them into my calorie counter, so it's kind of like I failed, right? Like that's theoretically what it is. So what my threshold is for that, like I didn't take, I forgot to take a picture, which is, I did this the first time and it's so frustrating. And it's like, right, like we could easily kind of reframe it in our head. Oh, it's just a picture. It's not like any sort of thing substantial or substantial. Like it's not like I missed a workout. It's just a picture, right? And wrong. Like that's the whole point of the 75 hard, is to kind of hold yourself accountable. And I think that that's the hardest part. Me personally, I've been coming up with lies to make things easier, to take the easy way out. I feel like that's kind of the culture that we have instilled in everyone, really. Whether it's Instacart or it's just the ease of somebody doing something for you, right? And as I'm trying to explain that to my daughter, it feels almost fraudulent to do that, right? Because it took me till I was 30 to really hold myself accountable and really kind of look at myself in the mirror and I'm not anyone to really, I'm not standing on a pedestal here. I'm just kind of being vulnerable, and it's hard to do that, and it's hard to live. It's hard to be a man. It's hard to be in a relationship. It's hard to be a son, be a friend. It's hard for all of that. So I don't know. I don't love this, right? Like this is not something that I would love to share. I think that it's if I post this, it's really taking a step in my vulnerability of who I am and what I do and how I'm feeling. I think that's hidden a lot, and I'm kind of tired of hiding that. I feel like like fuck it, like I don't feel okay. I don't feel good. I feel frustrated. I feel upset. I feel not myself. I feel what is myself? Like what is okay? What am I okay with? Why do I put other people's needs, in front of my own? Why do I go out of my way for other people, and yet it's never really returned to me? And why do I continue to do that? Like what triggers that in me? And why can't I be okay with being a little selfish and saying no? And just kind of trying to. It's hard to do a deep dive in yourself, and it shows a lot of, if you feel naked, right? You kind of like, oh, like, man, I didn't do that right. I didn't handle that situation correctly. And, how I can navigate certain situations to make it look like, but in reality, I know what's true. I know what's right. So yeah, I don't know. I think what I would like to share with everybody is that, these days come and it sucks, and you're all gonna, we're all gonna feel like that, and I'm gonna feel like this again, and I'm not gonna feel okay today, and I have to navigate the day as such and know that, like, hey, I'm not my best self today, and I have to be okay with that, and I can't give the people what I think they deserve, and I think a lot of that for me is part of that people pleasing, man. I keep coming back to that, but it's tough. Doing favors for people, doing things, even if I'm getting paid for, like I tend to go out of my way, and I don't know. It's just it's a constant. Every day is a battle, and it's not easy. And I think that if you're not having these battles and you're not feeling like this every now and again, like, are you human, right? Like, are you doing the work? I'm honored to be doing the work, which means I have to be okay with having these days, right? Like, I have to be okay with not being the best and not being positive and not being excited about all the things I should be. So it's shitty, but we're going to move on, and we're going to try to do our best, and we're going to kind of do our best to do as much as we can to make our day as best as we hope it can be. I think production's for me, is hard. I have to kind of like dial it in. I have a lot of ADD, and there's so many distractions in the world, and there's so many things for me to kind of distract myself, whether it's TV, whether it's, I have deleted social media just because it's just such a wormhole of people, it clouds your mind. It brings so much information in this age of information and different things that are happening and bad things. And I don't have control of that. So at least I can kind of control that. Doesn't mean I'm always going to feel great. I'm always going to feel okay, like today. But I just want others to know that, it's okay to not be okay, and keep going through it. Keep living life. Don't ever feel like you're less than, because you're not. And what's God trying to teach me now? What do I hear? What's in my heart? What brings me clarity? So the constant pursuit of growth and to find my purpose, I will continue to do. And sometimes it's very hard work. But like I tell my daughter, everything worth having is hard. So I'm going to continue the day, and I hope the best for everybody else, and don't ever give up.